Hey guys, welcome to Brian's Man Cave. So recently I've been doing a lot of older video game systems that I've played when I was a kid, like the Atari, the Intellivision, and moved on to things like ColecoVision, which I never had as a kid. And then I've been doing a lot of Nintendo stuff. I even did a little bit of Sega Genesis, Sega Master System stuff, and people have been asking me when am I going to start playing some PlayStation. And I thought, well, maybe that was something I could do down the line. But, I started this channel about 2 years ago, I think, around 2 years ago, and I still have never done a PlayStation game. So one of my good buddies on Twitter, Grumpy Bear Plays, sent me this game, Missile Command. And I was like, hey, that's cool. I mean, he wanted to send it as a thank you, which I might have talked about this already. I might have done that a video on it. But yeah, it got me thinking about, maybe pulling out the PlayStation again. And then my other buddy, Mr. Toon, he decided he wanted to send me some stuff. He figured, since I have Missile Command, why not grab all the other ones? For instance, Qbert. And I ended up picking up this on my own. He's like, you grab Asteroids, and he bought me Qbert. So I got those, plus I already had Frogger. So now I got all these classic games on the PlayStation. And there was a few other ones too. I mean, there was also the classic arcade hits that I've already had. And the one I didn't have, I had the other one too. The one I didn't have, which he also decided to send me, Mr. Toon, was the Namco Museum. He's a big Namco fan. He always talks about, his favorite games like Pole Position. And, he was always talking about the Namco Museum. And so he found it, and he decided to send it to me. And so I figured this would be the perfect one to start off the series. Because it's, it's a compilation disc. There's lots of different arcades. There's 6 actually in here. And 2 I'm not familiar with. So I'm really just going to dive into what's in this disc. Not just look at the games themselves, but also what else is on this disc that is interesting. And so yeah, I got that in here. And so what I'm going to be doing, the disc is actually inside. I'm actually going to be using my original PlayStation. Might as well play it on the PS1 because they're all original PlayStation games. So, I mean, I do have a PlayStation 2 behind me, so if this thing does fail on me, for whatever reason, I could always pull up my PlayStation 2. But I figure it's, why not play it on its native machine? And I'm going to be using the controller that mine came with. This is the analog one. It came out a little bit later on. I know the original PlayStation didn't have these analog sticks. So I'm going to be looking out to see if these things do anything in this game. This might have come out a little bit later. I don't know. So yeah, this is going to be the controller I'll be using. So let's dive into the Namco Museum. Well, actually, it's the, to be correct here, to be exact, I should say, it's Volume 3. So there's actually 2 volumes before this one. I'm not sure what's on them. I'm assuming similar games. So, yeah, let's play this one and see how it plays. Okay, let's switch this thing on. Oh, that's a familiar opening screen there. Haven't seen that in a while. PlayStation. One thing you always know about the PlayStation games is there's always going to be a lot of intros and screens that you have to go through. And of course the loading time. Something I've almost forgot about just playing all these cartridge games. Got used to it though from the Commodore 64, but... Nice good intro screen here. Put a lot of work into the animation just for the intro screens. Pac-Man. I think I'm just kind of going to go through the games here, so let's get to the beginning. See what's going on. Namco Museum. So this is Volume 3, obviously. Let's push start. So you have an option, a museum or just get right to the games. Check the museum out, because it's kind of cool. Loading, loading, loading. Lots of loading time. Even more. You can register your name on a memory card if you want. I'm just gonna say no. No smoking in the museum, but feel free to take pictures. Do not touch items with your hands. Of course not. You're in a museum. Okay, how do I get in there? Whoa. You play the games in each room. Okay. There we go. Oh, yeah. So you just kind of got to navigate around here. I mean, this in itself almost feels like you're playing a game. Let's see, we got up here in the top there. We got that. Looks like pole position, too. What's that one? It's hard to make out. I mean, the graphics are good. But maybe, I don't know, maybe it's my TV, but it just seems like it's a little bit hard to tell. I can make out that that's Miss Pac-Man, and that's obviously Dig Dug. Let's wander into the Miss Pac-Man room. I feel like I'm playing Doom or something. This is weird. And we entered an area that kind of reminds me of Super Mario 64. So it really just gives you a bunch of things in here about the game, which is weird. Like, it gives you this chip thing. Talks about the board itself. Of course, you got how to play. Not really a complicated game. I mean, it's Pac-Man. Miss Pac-Man. Eat dots, don't die. There's some tips over here. Watch out for Pinky. So that guy runs through a bunch of tips. That's cool. I mean, Pac-Man's Pac-Man. You kind of get your rhythm going on that one. Post no bills. Let's go back through here. Please wait. Oh. Miss Pac-Man and some dog Pac-Man. Kind of interesting. What's going on over here? Huh. What's that? Oh, the arcade. That's cool. Now loading. So I guess I just sat down at the arcade. Oh, yeah. It's Miss Pac-Man now. With Blinky. So I guess you hit select. Get 1 credit down there. Really nicely done. I mean, they give you the graphics on the side. Because, you know, obviously an arcade wasn't widescreen. It was, you know, long ways like this. So they have to put some graphics on the side. Really cool. Controls nicely, too. Like, you almost think you're playing the real arcade here. Oh. It's just the thing is you're using a PlayStation controller, which a lot of people will argue is better. Some people prefer the arcade stick, though. I'm sure there was some aftermarket sticks out there you can probably buy. I don't know. The cherries! Overall, though, I mean, really well done. One thing I noticed is I'm using, obviously, the analog one, which came in the later PlayStations, and they don't do anything. It doesn't, you can't use the analog stick. They don't work. So, perhaps this game came out before the analog did, or they just didn't build controls for it. Although I don't know if it would be any better. It kind of feels like it would be a lot more like a joystick feel. Oh. Okay, so I'm back to the start again. Let's just check out some of the games here. We got this Druaga? How do you say that? Again, you can only use the directional pad. You can't use the analog sticks. So we got that one. Galaxian. These two I'm not too familiar with. Frozen? What's that? Let's check it out. I don't really know this one. It's on this thing here. Fozon. Fozon? 1983, 1996 Namco. I don't know why I'm not familiar with this title. It kind of looks like a Guitar Hero thing. Push start button, one player only. Build this shape. Whoa. I have no idea what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look this one up. But, you know, thankfully they got that museum part where you can go in and read about it and learn how to play the game. Okay, I'm wandering around this area again. Let's see. I think this is Dig Dug. Let's check out Dig Dug. Let's just see how the room looks like. Ah, I'm underground. Well, that makes sense. Still find the graphics to be a little bit tricky to make out. Top display. Oh, so this would be the top of the cabinet. That's cool. It's showing you off the cabinet. Please wait. Okay, let's wander around over here. What is that? Okay. Well, I can always go back to the game select, I guess, by hitting start, so let's just play the game. Dig Dug! Dig Dug! I like how all this crazy crap just happens for every single game, almost like when they boot up a real arcade machine and you see all that stuff happening. That's a neat title screen. Again, you got this area here is where the game is. That's where going to be, I guess, the coins and all that stuff. Button player start. Nice. Not really used to the arcade version. I mean, I've played this enough times on my Atari 2600. The Atari version is really good, so I mean, I don't feel like I'm missing out on the experience by playing on the Atari. I love how you just blow these guys up and then they just pop. Ah. Get ready, player one. Whoa. Now this guy's gonna bolt for the top, as far as I know. Not bad, actually. See if I can squish. No. Never been the best at this game. These guys are getting away. It's weird how the music is in this game. It plays when you're walking, practically. Well, now this guy's running away. See if I can catch him. Got him. Usually in this game, when you get to the last guy, he runs away. This is a cool game, though. Okay, so we're back to this game select screen again. Let's just check one more game there. Let's see what this is, because I have no idea what it is, so I just want to check it out. Just for the fun of it. I mean, I've played all these other games before. I've done videos on pretty much all of them, I think. I don't know about Galaxian, maybe not, but... More messed up screen. The Tower of Druaga. Get ready, player one, floor one. Oh, jeez. It's almost like reminding me of like Gauntlet or something. Sound effects is weird in this. Almost sounds like some of the earlier Donkey Kong games. That squeaky noise. I thought that was a door. Oh. Just got eaten by a blob. Seems like a cool game. One that I probably should learn about and Probably do a full video on this one alone. It's really neat. There's a key up there. Maybe that opens that door. Huh. Let's get the key. Okay, I got a key. How do I get in there? Sweet. Huh. Guess that's the point of this game, is to find the key and move up. Pretty cool. I'll have to check this one out. Okay, so last one I want to check out is pole position 2. I'm pretty certain that that's Mr. Toon's favorite, since he's the one who's donated these games. Figure I might as well play the one that he likes the most. Let's see how it is compared to the pole position 2 on the Atari 7800. Because that's the only system I've ever played this game on. Oh. Pretty good looking. Test. Seaside. Wonder. Oh yeah, you can't go up and down. You're just going left and right to move it around. Let's just do the Namco track. I don't like the flashy lights, but... Oh, really? No talking? Alright, so I gotta figure out how I exchange gears. Ah, okay. We figured it out. Well, that's different. So the left and right are your the top buttons on your controller. These guys. So left and rights. So high and low. That's kind of neat. You have to remember that. Oh, that was an awesome explosion there. I think that's something. Oh, get used to it. It's very. This car is very delicate. You just tap it and the thing moves like halfway across the screen. It's probably a brake button too. I am not good at this one. Whoa, 81st place. Not bad for my first try. Try that one more time. Kind of disappointing that it doesn't talk. You would think you can get that out of a PlayStation. Whoa! There's bits of my car all over the place. Again, this would probably be kind of cool if I could use the analog stick on this one too. But no go. Whoa! Like I said, this one's very delicate. It's definitely different than the Atari 7800 version, that's for sure. Sheesh. Nice! Pac-Man! Got something in the sign. I believe in the Atari one, there wasn't much in the signs. I think maybe just the Atari symbols or something like that. The Atari Pac-Man, or Pac-Man, the Atari pole position, the first one, I know it had nothing in the signs. They were just blank. Really cool, but found this one a little bit challenging here to control. Graphics look great, though. So that was actually pretty cool. My PlayStation, I've had it put away for quite a long time, and it fired up nicely. I was actually quite surprised. I didn't have any issues with it. I didn't have to play with the wires. Didn't have any static on the screen. Everything looked great. It worked perfectly. And that's good. I've kind of had it in a drawer for a while, because once I got my PlayStation 2, I put the PS1 away, and you don't need it because it's backwards compatible. Anyways, yeah, so this is actually pretty cool. I really enjoyed the museum aspect of it. I mean, I have played compilation discs before, and most of the time they're just a menu screen. What game do you want to play? And that's it. Some of them might go as far as to have like an extra screen to kind of give you some information about the game. But this was cool that they actually created that whole virtual, reality world there where you're wandering around, you actually sit down with Miss Pac-Man herself, You get to see all the different, you know, paintings on the wall. You get to read them. I thought that was kind of a nice touch. Like, they put a lot of work into it. I guess they figured they had to. They had to come up with something that was, you know, a little bit more unique than to just say, here's Miss Pac-Man, here's Galaxian, here's, you know, here's Dig Dug. They wanted to add more flair because this is on a more complicated machine. You might expect something like that from the older systems, you know, like, you know, even Nintendo. Most of the time it was just one game you bought, and it was just that game. When you bought Donkey Kong, it was just Donkey Kong. When you bought Pac-Man, it was just Pac-Man. So they had to, you know, step it up and, you know, add more flair to it. Pretty cool, though. I'm really happy that Mr. Toon sent this. And, you know, I didn't play every single game here. I didn't play the Galaxian on there. And I didn't know what was going on with that Fozon, or whatever it's called. But the other one, that, what's it called? The Tower of Druaga. I've never played that before, and that looks cool. I'm going to look into that game, too. Perhaps, maybe if I learn enough about it, I could do a separate video on it. If I can understand the game, anyways. Yeah, but that was a lot of fun. Thanks again, Mr. Toon, for sending it out, and for all the other ones he sent out. But yeah, I'm going to do a small series of this, so I'm going to be, you know, I don't know if I'll work on the arcade classics some more, or jump right into these guys, the classic games that are just that game. These are all kind of interesting, so they're definitely going to make for some pretty good videos. Anyways, hope you liked the video. Let me know what you think of the Namco Museum, or compilation discs in general, and possibly even your thoughts on retro gaming on something like the PlayStation 1. You know, these games are all from the 80s, and, you know, obviously this is not. So it's kind of fun playing these old games again. And I know you could still do it today. I mean, the PS4, the Nintendo Switch, you can still play these games there too. It's not something that I don't think is ever going to go away in our lifetime. Anyways, hope you liked the video. Hope you subscribe. Talk to you later.